What's up, everyone? Welcome back for another Comic-Con 2022 interview. I'm excited about this one because there's a new animated series. We've got the team behind Little Demon here, and you could probably tell by the title that this is right up my alley. I'm into horror in general, but I'm so into just like hard R comedy right now, and you guys crush it in that department.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, thanks.
So I want to start with the three of you here. Can you tell us how the three of you met and then what you saw in each other that made you say, like, these are the right creative partners for me to work on a wacky idea like this?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Well, the three of us met, I met Darcy. I think Darcy and I met, it's been now like 15, 16 years, something like that.
Multiple years.
Yeah, and we started sort of collaborating artistically. Like, we had a very like-minded thought of like creatively, and Kieran and I also met. That was also 15 something years ago, but separately. And then the three of us all worked together on a sketch together, and where he directed and we both acted, and so we just all started working together. We realized that we all had sort of the same, I don't know how to sell without sounding like a cliche, but like insane, crazy, wacky thoughts. But no, I think we all had very similar like comedic sensibilities, and like that we love horror and comedy together. And so we started on live action stuff together. Just, I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, I think when we we did this sketch, like it was this Ring Pop parody sketch that Aubrey was actually in, because Seth and Aubrey have known each other for a long time. And it was just like the best day on set I've ever had, just feeling like you're like at home with the people you're working with, and it was just such a fluid process, and so many ideas came up in it, and we just knew from there we just needed to keep working together. So
I don't know who these people are. I don't know. I have nothing to add.
We didn't mean her when we've been talking. We were like the person who isn't here, the true Darcy.
I was here and I was like, what's going on? But no, and we're all horror nerds like you. We love horror. We're obsessed with horror.
That's great.
Wait, just really quickly now, what is the favorite horror movie? You can jump in on this too, Dan.
Favorite?
All time, yeah. I'm asking you the hardest question right now.
I'm gonna say for me, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my number one.
I think the original Halloween is probably favorite, just in terms of like how genuinely terrifying it was, and I was the right age kid at the time for that to be the scariest thing that was happening.
Yeah, I would say for me, this is so hard, but I guess I would say Rosemary's Baby. That was the movie I think I've watched the most times and like affected me the most and showed me like where horror could go, just to this deeply, deeply psychological place that I loved.
Yeah. And I would say, and this also sounds so cliche, but The Shining, it's so cinematically incredible, and it really takes its time with it, and everything is really deliberate, and the scare is really I'm just terrified of ghosts. I don't believe in them, but I'm terrified of them. And so that one really got me, yeah.
Rock solid choices all around. All right, Dan, now for you obviously have had a good deal of success shepherding very
Thank
successful
you. It must have been
series.
hard for you to say that. we used to date, and we're very bitter.
What happened? For you, when you look at material like this, what is it that makes you think this is a show that's really good and has the potential to go the distance? But then also at this point in your career, what is something about this material that makes you think you'll gain something from it and add another tool to your toolkit, so to speak?
I'll gain nothing from it. I really liked what these guys were saying when they met with me about, it's a story that focuses on different kinds of family relationships than we're used to seeing focused on in animation for adults, in particular like genre high concept like animation for adults. In this particular case, like the focus on the mother-daughter relationship, which as you guys pointed out when we talked, is like it hasn't really been well plumbed in our medium, and that was I'm never going to be able to do that by myself, because that would be weird for me to be plumbing mother-daughter like relationships with my own pen. So like here they were ready to do that, and I was like, great, let me help in any way I can. And that's you know, and then working with DeVitos, like we're working with all the DeVitos.
This is absolutely wild to me. I love it so much.
That's something you do before you die, no matter what. You're like if you have a chance to do it,
So
even if it's like on a
rock-solid
gas
bucket list
station,
item.
like if the DeVitos have a gas station,
I would
and then
work at
you
that
go like,
gas
I want to
station.
work at the DeVitos gas station.
And Aubrey.
That too. She's wonderful. For the three of you, just to talk a little bit about the evolution of the story, what is the biggest difference between when you first conceived of the idea day one compared to what we are going to see in the final version of the show?
Well, I'd say probably the biggest difference is that originally it started off as a story of a young woman who was pregnant and she had a cursed womb. And so obviously things, as we kept developing the show, well, we realized that she should have already given birth to the Antichrist, and the Antichrist just so happens to be a girl, and then we had her at 5 years old, and then we realized as we kept developing the show and kept pushing it forward, we kept aging her up too, and we realized that like 13 like is prime time for any sort of like thematic like relevance and really finding all these different elements that we can find of horror, because 13 is such, I mean, that's hell.
Yeah, no, and I think like before this, we were like working in the live action space a lot, and you know, when we started developing this idea, we were like, this needs to be animated. So this was like our first foray into it, and yeah, it's been a really excited space to like explore and learn about. So.
Yeah, and there's like with like a mother-daughter relationship, a teenage daughter and a mother, that's like it lends itself too well to the horror genre. Like, yeah, so it's great.
I actually left Aubrey out on purpose. I don't enjoy working.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so
You've been
sorry.
holding that
I
in the
shouldn't
whole
have, because yeah.
Thank you for saying it, Dan.
Wow.
Honestly,
No, but
thank
we
you.
agree. Yeah.
We totally
Yeah.
agree. She
Totally same page.
is a pariah.
Yeah. Yep.
She's actually the best.
She really is. I've
she's
spoken to
the
her a
best.
couple times, and she is something else. And I like how much we're going to talk about it, how much she is being a producing force in this industry right now. Before I have to let you all go, there's so many details that I want to touch on right now, and we just don't have the time. I love how much you're pushing it with this show. It's hard to do this without giving away any spoilers, but can each of you highlight one thing about it that made you go like, how is FX letting us do this in our series?
I mean, I love that Laura, as soon as the pilot gets to rip out a man's throat like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Excellent choice.
I would say I won't give too much away, but Laura's entrance into the metaphysical realm, how she goes about that and that whole sequence going into that is something.
Okay.
And I also don't want to spoil too much, but I would say, yeah, that the first real horror moment after the cold open, that they allow us to go that far and that graphic. It was really, yeah, I mean, it opens up a
Chrissy.
huge world. Involving Chrissy, what Chrissy is capable of doing, and letting us sort of continue to show the graphic nature and what she should be doing. It's just really cool that they allowed us to like go as far as we did and keep pushing that.
It's
Yeah.
very effective. I love
I'm
it.
shocked at how anti-vax they've allowed us to be. It's just on a fun number, like it's one thing to soapbox, but it's another thing to just get your message out there.
Yeah.
The
plain
whole
and
second half of
simple.
the season is
It's just-
all. It's strictly
It's
just.
never been
Yes.
more important
Yeah.
to be anti.
Yeah.
This is the time.
I've
know.
never worn a mask in my 86 years.
All right, I'll see you later, everyone.
This interview's over. I hope you guys have a real safe
I wear many masks. We all wear
and
masks
we're
all the
also very
time.
pro-vax.
Your show is very exciting. I cannot wait to see more. Huge fan of the creativity here. And of course, the blood, gore, all the details that I've seen thus far. Congratulations and thank you for your time.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you.